What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 9th of July, 2023. First week of July already gone. Hope everybody had a safe and happy 4th, and I hope you're ready for some craziness because we got all kinds of it this week. We got the police state off the chain. We got World War III just exploding all over the place. We got long COVID. We got mass deaths. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all this week's madness. Let's jump into it. What is long vax? Symptoms linked to COVID-19 shots baffle doctors. What did we tell people? Okay, you've heard of long COVID. By the way, YouTube censorship staff, this is the New York Post. This is not some conspiracy website. I assume this is safe to report this since it's mainstream news. You've heard of long COVID, cases where people can't shake lingering symptoms of COVID-19. Now, here comes long vax, a rare but baffling set of symptoms that follow small number of people for months after receiving COVID-19 vaccine. All of these, I'm tired, I'm achy, I can't do anything, I have chest pains, and it goes into all this. Here we go. Persistent headaches, irregular heart rate, intense tiredness, abnormal blood pressure. This is called long vax. You get that? Long vax. What did we try to tell people? Doctors hunt for clues behind rise of mysterious neurological condition striking young people. Oh, I wonder if it has something to do with the long vax. I don't know. I wonder if this had something to do with anything. Professional basketball player died of heart attack just 2 years after receiving his thing that he said gave him myocarditis. He's dead now. We got a number of these this week. We had a bodybuilder known online, dead at 30. Bodybuilder dead at 30, mysteriously died for no reason whatsoever. 34-year-old ER doctor dies suddenly. Colleagues mourn his loss. 34-year-old ER doctor dies suddenly. Unexplainably, nobody knows why. America's most prolific Bigfoot hunter dies at 51, spent his life chasing Bigfoot, dies home in a chair for no good reason. Madonna, we got an update on Madonna. Madonna had to be brought back from the dead with Narcan injection. Is Narcan injection a cover story? I don't know. Brought back from the dead? Really? From the Gateway Pundit. And here's a GLP thread. Did you know COVID vac... sudden rise in cancers. Here are some YouTubers. A whole list of big popular YouTubers who now have cancer. Here's a GLP thread with all these popular YouTubers coming down with cancer. Nobody knows why. It's completely mysterious. It goes on for a while. Other news going on. White House, cocaine mystery, cocaine in the West Wing. At the 4th of July weekend as Hunter is in the house. Check it out. It was not found in the library. Joe and Hunter's July 4th celebrations clouded in controversy. Agents try to track. They will never find who's. Come on. It's obvious. Secret Service. If you watch my videos, you probably do. Would you just take a look at this video of Hunter Biden out on the deck? Okay, the music's blaring, the party, and they got the kids. This man is tweaking. Watch this video on loop for a little while, and just watch his expressions, watch his eyes, how he does that thing with his nose when he walks. This, do you really not understand whose cocaine this is? Are you serious? What will happen to him? No, nothing. Life in the fast lane. Hunter lives it that way. Reckless Hunter Biden photographed driving 172 miles an hour behind the wheel in his Porsche en route to Long Island, Vegas, or days-long Vegas bender with prostitutes. Pictured himself smoking crack while behind the wheel. Hunter, look at this. He's going 172. Life in the fast lane, baby. What happened? There's his crack pipe and everything. What's going to happen to him? Well, what always happens to these people? Missing Biden corruption whistleblower. Resurfaces releases 14-minute video detailing criminal allegations against Biden crime family. Nothing will happen. I mean, can you imagine? They want to bury Donald Trump under the jail over some old classified documents that nobody gives a shit about. But Hunter Biden is living it up in the fast lane in the White House, cocaine and all, tweaking right on the balcony. Nobody cares. Over to financial news. How made U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday 7-7? How did it go this week? The Dow Jones fell 187 on Friday, closed the week at 33,734. For the week, the Dow was actually down 672. Put a link to the market recap data. More than 2,200 stores closing across the U.S. in 2023. Here is the list. Stores closing all over the place. This store here, I predict, will go out of business. Don't shop here. Check it out. Since the Supreme Court ruled that businesses can discriminate, no sales to Trump supporters. We only sell to churches that fly a pride flag. Yeah, you're going to be out of business, Barry. Hey, it's your prerogative. Something just snapped. Maybe you can get a job at the pawn shop. Customers Consumers panic search pawn shops near me, says Zero Hedge. That last story, I can't get my mind around. Student loan borrowers told to default en masse. J.P. Morgan doesn't care about paying people back either. J.P. Morgan Chase refuses to reimburse customer after imposter walks into the bank with a fake ID and walks out with $30,000. J.P. Morgan says, sorry about your luck. George Soros Foundation lays off 40% of the workforce after billionaire investor's son takes over. You thought George Soros was loyal to his employees. Good, son, good. I'd like to see what other plans you have in the works. It's going to be a marvelous new world order. Let's see, how much would you be willing to pay for a pizza? Maybe they can go get a job as a pizza driver. Check this out. First of all, you people who have dogs, put your dog away when someone comes to your house. I'll go into a rant about that later. Watch this, though. I just can't stand it when somebody's dog runs up on me.
I just want to say, it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
Wow, nice house for a $5 tip. Well, it's a $20 pizza. Isn't that 25%? I mean, and how do you even know it's her house? Maybe she's house setting. I mean, who knows? What a jerk. Anyway, Bubba Wallace, what say you on the pizza thing? Bubba Wallace takes a shot at NASCAR fans who resist diversity inclusion efforts. So we got more of this stuff going on this week in the agenda. Look at this. You don't recognize this guy. This is Christopher Moltisanti from The Sopranos. He says he does not want bigots and homophobes watching his work anymore since the Supreme Court ruling. Wasn't it you who actually was giving Vito a very hard time for, I won't use the word that you used in the show, but for being gay? No, didn't you want Vito dead and all that? I know it's just a TV show, but I mean, you're telling people not to watch your TV shows, so I got to throw it in. Millions of taxpayer dollars being going to funded foreign pride parades. Be advised, drag shows, says Red State, and I got one at the bottom here. Check it out. We found $4.5 billion worth of payments.
This June 28th, as emergency crews worked to clean up yet another toxic train derailment in the United States, this time on the Montana River, further exposing our nation's chronically underfunded infrastructure and its threats to our health. The Pentagon announced plans to send an additional $500 million worth of military aid to Ukraine. The development came as Ukraine's army enters the third week of a vaunted counteroffensive that CNN describes as, quote, not meeting expectation.
As a United States taxpayer, you don't mind, do you? Over to New World Order Police State News now. This is where I stop and ask you, please share this report. There's a lot of important stuff going on, but be advised, language warning. I may get upset because there's a lot of things this week that are pissing me off. The UN planning to seize global emergency powers with Biden's support. There's going to be a summit at the UN 2024, less than 2 months before the U.S. presidential election. Maybe there'll be another big world event. I don't know. They're definitely planning on seizing power. Be advised. Twitter. The lockdown on information continues. Twitter restricts non-logged-in users from viewing tweets. You can no longer view Twitter unless you're logged in, unless you have an account. Elon Musk, what the hell are you thinking? You're just going along with the plan. He also says Twitter will limit how many tweets users can read. Yes, unless you want to pay for it, you can only read a limited number of tweets. You're an absolute jackass. Meta launches data harvesting clone, immediately starts censoring. Of course, Facebook's going to try to compete with Twitter now. Twitter's already talking about they're going to sue Facebook because some ex-engineer went to work for some shit, I don't know. It's all a new world order, every bit of it. AI companies negotiate landmark deals to train chatbots on MSM News. Of course, well, all your news already comes from fake sources anyway, so I do the best I can here in this report. The entire purpose of this report is to try to give you information from every source I can find available, anything that I see that may be relevant. Give it to you, and then you make up your own mind about what you think is going on in the world. Don't believe anything. Think for yourself. Joe Biden launched Orwellian Ministry of Truth. Oh, speaking of thinking for yourself, to shut down COVID dissent, judge says. That's on Yahoo Sports. Okay. MSNBC, we got gun control this week. I wouldn't go out on the 4th of July because America is awash with guns. Yeah. You know what we need? More gun laws. That's what we need. Because law-abiding citizens are the problems. It's not these people. Look what's going on in my city, just blocks away from where I live, actually.
Milling through the area, breaking into cars, and they are fully armed while they're doing their thieving.
And as you look at this, those caught on camera seem to be very young. Neighbors in the Dogtown and Clayton-Tam area where this happened
Now tell me, I want to ask my stupid bitch mayor one more time. How can you please pass a gun law that will take the guns out of these kids' hands because they're obviously up to no good in the middle of the night, and if they didn't have guns, it would be less dangerous. Can you please pass a law that will make the thugs in my city put their firearms down?
We shouldn't have to live in fear.
Buy a gun, I say. Update on the riots in France. Massive fire spotted at Home Depot. Bus Depot. Enhance your calm, John Spartan. I put a link to that. Meanwhile, did you know that France has fallen due to a 17-year-old victim who was a gangbanger with 15-count rap sheet and history of running from police stops? This is who they're fighting over? You know, Michael Brown situation. I don't know. Look, we got this here that will piss you off. This is Lauren, Ohio. If I'm saying that right, family speaks out after their harmless dog was shot dead by police. They got the videos there. I'm not going to play it. It will definitely piss you off. This dog was doing nothing wrong. This cop shot this dog, and then the cop, you know, his commander came and he drove away. And right, another story from St. Louis, right out of city of Jennings, just north of me. They are towing private people's cars away that are parked in private driveways because of expired tags and this and that. It is straight up thievery. This is why I live in the city of St. Louis and I don't live in the county, because the county is full of corrupt-ass jurisdictions like this. They do stuff like this. They set up speed traps where they give you a ticket for going 38 and a 35 and all this shit and stuff like this. This goes on. This corruption is rampant in St. Louis County. And the crazy thing is, if you actually read into that story, when St. Louis County police showed up, they ordered the city to put this man's truck back in his private driveway. Because that was no reason. It wasn't on a city street. It wasn't derelict in a public area. It was on his private property. My problem isn't so much the St. Louis County police. They actually deal with a lot of the same shit that the city police deal with. They deal with a lot of shit in the county these days. It wasn't like that back in the day when I grew up. But it's the individual municipalities. You know, it's the St. George's, it's the Bella Villas, it's the St. Anne's, it's the Floyds, it's the Fergus, it's all of the little crooked ass municipalities that are the problem in St. Louis County. Not the county itself. Something needs to be done about the corruption. Just my little rant there. Anyway, over to World War III news. Biden says Assad must go. We got an Operation Blackjack hit right off the gate. Now we're going to go after Syria. Iran apparently says it had a court order to seize a Chevron tanker, so we got Syria and Iran, two Operation Blackjack players as we're heading deeper into the summer of 2023. We got this supposed, okay, now we have information. Intelligence, Russian military has placed objects resembling explosives on the roof of several units at the nuclear power plant. So are we setting up for a nuclear false flag over there? I don't know what's going on. Got a tweet here from Endgame WW3. Follow him on Twitter if you want updated World War III news. There is no better source on the planet. Moscow decreed attempts to abolish Russian responsibility for nuclear accidents. Of course, I don't know. Is it going to be Russia or is it going to be Ukraine? Is it going to be the U.S.? Something going to happen? Probably, most definitely, at any moment. But you know me. Zelensky declares there will be no peace talks with Putin until Russia leaves Crimea. Donbass 1991 borders restored. Of course, there will be no peace. Wagner chief apparently isn't in Belarus. I think I saw something that says he's actually in Russia. I don't know. I'll put a link to this from Politico update on that. Explosion reported in Kiev court. Emergency services responding. I didn't really too much into this. Just from the AFP from Inside Paper. MiG crash reported after Russian aircraft detected near Alaska. MiG crash? Put a link to that. Israel attacks, what is that, Jenin? And biggest West Bank incursion in 20 years. Just some miscellaneous news here. The Taliban says they're going to be outlawing beauty shops in Afghanistan as the lockdown continues against women. By the way, Biden administration released Afghanistan report day before holiday in an attempt to bury it. Republicans say that from Breitbart. And I got one at the bottom. The Department of Defense is too busy with this kind of stuff. This major found solace coming out as transgender female. Her journey battling blah, blah, blah. This is a tweet from the United States Department of Defense. Over to the Earth changes in 2012 news. And I got the earthquakes map set up for 6 points and above for the past week. We had a 6.0 on July 6th. We had a 6.2 on July 3rd. We had a 6.9 on July 2nd. That's the one that was in the Tonga. I'll put a link. I don't think that had much of a tsunami with it. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. You could drop it down to 5s. Of course, there's a lot of 5s going on in a row. I'll put a link to the map if you want to check it out. Didn't see too much on volcanoes this week. We had massive boulders rolling downhill. Crushed cars. This is the Indian Express. They got videos of these boulders. Just come and look, check it out. Boom. I mean, wow. Rock slide, whatever you call it. Just rest in peace, everyone involved. Back in the United States, we got woman dies while hiking Grand Canyon in heat well over 100 degrees. It is hot. Let's go hike the Grand Canyon. I put out a story a couple weeks ago, didn't I, about how deadly the Grand Canyon is? You know, people know what they're getting into. Biden regime considering dangerous plan that would block out the sun in order to rapidly cool the earth. This is like the third story I've reported in past weeks. Is it not now the United States has not already been doing this? You know, go out in the sky on a clear day and look up, see what you see. Put a link to that. Maybe it's the people that are just too thirsty. Humans are consuming water to what makes Earth... Apparently, human beings are consuming so much water that it's making the Earth wobble on its axis. I thought I was taught in school, very basic, grade school, that the Earth always wobbles, maintains a certain wobble on its head. But now we're drinking too much water. Even though nothing, energy is all there is and all there ever was and can never be destroyed, or, but now we're using too much water. Speaking of water forever, chemicals could be nearly half of U.S. tap water. Well, like George Carlin said, I expect a little poison in my food and water. I think that's what the quote was. Let's see. UN nuclear agency says he's satisfied with Japan's, speaking of toxic water, releasing Fukushima wastewater. That from Breitbart, new article there. Yeah, Fukushima's still going on all these years later, as it will be for like eons. Splashes to splashes. Are we using water? Check it out. It's a water cremation, boil in a bag. Funerals to become available in Britain after catching on around the world. Apparently a boiling you in the bag. Is that a waste of water? I don't know. 5 killed in small plane crash. We got a broken plane in South Carolina. Boy, my speech is all slurred now. Did you see this broken train? Oh my God! The Charlotte Observer. I guess in that Charlotte, North Carolina. Check out this roller coaster. Let's scroll down and see the tweet because it's a little bit clearer. Look at that. Watch this. You talk about something that shouldn't happen ever. I hate how Twitter does it. Let's straight up. Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that? I mean, you can watch the amount of flex. I don't think that they were in danger of actually dying in that turn because there's so much other structural steel there, but that should not happen. Put a link to it. We got an explosion on an oil rig off the Gulf of Mexico. Be advised, more pollution into the sea life. But I'm happy to report the viral videos show sharks swimming by beachgoers near Pensacola, Florida. A number of people have been bitten. I mean, the sharks are coming right up to the edge. Look at that. Come here, I'm gonna eat you. We're over to strange and bizarre news, and I apologize for my slurry speech. I think sometimes my brain wants to do things faster than my mouth can put it out there. I don't do that on purpose, so just bear with me. You know how I am. We got craziness going on the 4th of July. Here's several videos. Apparently, overnight, Somali-American Utes in Minneapolis celebrated 4th by attacking police with fireworks. Check out this fireworks minigun. I was like, wow, check that out. Holy crap. It's like, you ever see somebody hold the gun sideways? Do you think I'm going to call police state if the cops just totally mow your asses down? I'll put a link to that. Do you want to see something else crazy? Watch this. Now, the tweet says, imagine finding this funny. And I have to admit, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I laugh my ass off, even though it's tragic, and I hope this guy's okay. I mean, when you see what happens, it's like watching a damn Roadrunner cartoon. You can't even believe that this is real life. It blows the door open. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong in my head. I shouldn't find that funny. When you put cartoon music to it, it makes sense. 2 dead, 28 injured, including 14 minors after mass shooting at South Baltimore block party. I got several mass shootings to report. 4 dead, 7 injured, late night, 4th of July in MLK neighborhood, whereas this is down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Put a link to that. We got video show shooter opened fire in Kansas City nightclub. I don't know if anybody died there, but a bunch of people shot. Gunman opens fire at random in Philadelphia streets, killing 4 before he's arrested. So people are just crazy madness everywhere. We got madness in the skies. Now let me play this video for you. Did you see this woman say that? Watch what she said. Did you see this?
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give 2 fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can still claim and you can fucking die with them or not.
Apparently this guy looked at her and his eyes blinked the wrong way, like Men in Black or something. I don't know. Then there's another guy freaking out on a plane for some unknown reason. British male passenger freaks out. What's happening here following the spooked woman passenger we just saw? I don't know. People are freaking out in the air. What's going on down on the roads? Look, this is the new thing. Teens on bikes are purposely trying to get hit by moving cars and for TikTok likes. You're like terrorizing the drivers. Do you think at all what you're doing to the people actually driving the car? What happens if they swerve and hit a tree? You inconsiderate bunch of pricks. Imagine walking down the street, however, and the car just falls right on top of you, right out of the sky. Check this guy. This guy just has the most worse luck. I rest in peace. It sucks. You're walking down the street and a car just falls on you. Man charged for doing donuts on golf course, causing $20,000 in damage. Was it Michael Douglas? I'll put a link to that. Chicago police, I got one more here, say that a man named Neiman Marcus shoplifted from Neiman Marcus. I screwed that all up. Anyway, I'll put a link to my favorites too. Check out my favorites. Will your existence destroy humans? Check out these realistic robots, man. I could have swore we saw that in a movie a while back, and now it's reality. Let's see. Cars washed away. Heavy flooding in Spain. Oh my God. Patrons ignored. This guy walks into this nail salon and tries to rob the place, and like, we got this world's hugest, largest LED spear that went online in Las Vegas. You got to check that thing out. That's crazy. Earth's average temperature, they're saying it's hottest on record. There's the video of the cop shooting the dog, completely uncalled for. Monograph, it's good to see you put out a regular video again. I'm in a lot of your live streams, but it's good to see you make. I'd love to see you make some regular videos again. Some good stuff by Monograph there. Mark Dice has got one. You got to check out. In fact, I'm going to play the Show Me Babies video for you here. It's just for fun. Okay, so if you get offended, I apologize, but it's the Show Me Baby. I'm going to play it, okay? Special shout out to the Show Me Baby for this one. I laughed my ass off.
Okay, guys, I think we should totally jump in this thing and go to the bottom of the ocean. That's what we need to do. We need to go to the bottom of the ocean with this thing. It doesn't seem dangerous at all, right? No? All right, let's do this.
I'm sorry for stealing your content, Matt. I had to play that, though. Check out my favorites for all kinds of just updated news. I'm constantly favoriting stuff. Thank you to everybody putting out content, keeping everyone informed. You guys are doing awesome. All these reports are, like, getting longer. Some weeks I just feel like talking. You know, some other weeks I'm just like, let me just tell you this so I can get the hell out of here. I got a few shout-outs this week. I want to give a shout-out to Mel Gibson. Let me just play a little clip from Mel here.
The most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
It's really something to see these celebrities is stepping up to support something like this. I'll put the tweet that I gave a shout out to last week to Ivanka Trump. You want to watch the trailer to the film? I believe it's online somewhere now. I haven't watched it yet, but I pretty much know what it's about. I'll pretty much check it out. Shout out to James Woods, another celebrity who's speaking out. Let me just play the little clip that he posted. Listen carefully.
And the one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like, say, ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC.
That is very powerful, yes. The government may decide that it doesn't want you to buy ammunition or pornography or whatever the hell it decides it doesn't want you to buy. And when everything is digital, you got no choice. It's like the documentary from years ago. You get out of line, they can just turn off your chip. This is the reality that we all predicted way back then. This is the reality that we're currently moving toward very rapidly. Shout out to James Woods for bringing recognition to this. It's great to see these people who actually have a large following getting involved. And I got one for you here. Check it out. I found this. Somebody posted this on GLP this week. This is apparently a Twitch channel that is driven by artificial intelligence that has constant, like 24-hour debating between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. There is a lot of bad language. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. I don't know, but I want to. If you want something funny to watch, in the midst of all this madness, I just thought this was so hilarious.
The matter is,
I watched it for like 30 minutes.
Not your dumbass comments. Cockwaffle. Listen up, you dumb piece of shit.
It is probably not for everyone, but I'll put a link to it if you want to check it out. It is not always like that, so I apologize for the language, but it is what it is. I thought it was cool. I wanted to tell you about it. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you'd like to report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst you've ever seen. You never want to see it again. Why won't this guy just shut up? Thumbs it down. It helps it move around. I really appreciate it. You can also support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot of time and effort into this every week to give you the news. I appreciate any support, and shout out to my Patreons. I love you guys. And to the people who support me on a weekly basis, I love you too. Or just simply share the report. I would love that too. can also follow me on all my links, the YouTube channels, the Rumbles, the BitChutes, the Gabs. All the links are always at the bottom. Tell me your thoughts on this crazy week. What about long vax, hey? Seems like we may have predicted this. However, I can't talk about that. You know, how about World War III? Are they placing explosives on top of this nuclear? Are we going to see a nuclear false flag? Are we going to see Blackjack, Jericho, another COVID-23 scenario maybe before we head into the 2024 election as the UN tries to seize power? Got it all this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes on a Sunday while I give you the news. You guys take care, stay safe, remain vigilant. I love you very much. Be ready for anything at any time. I will see you on the next one.